Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes that it is doing its thing, and it went through all of the processes of extracting and copying the files, installing the bootloader, and now it says installation complete, reboot. Okay, so it also mentions after rebooting, select the USB boot option in the BIOS menu to reboot now. Okay, so I guess I'll just click on reboot now. Let's see what happens. Let's just force restart a few folders which were open. Yeah, it's Christmas season, so I have put appropriate wallpapers. The system is shutting down right now, as it says here. So we are getting off Windows 7. It takes a bit of time, like I mentioned. This system only has 1.5 gigs of RAM, and there are certain points where, even though I've upgraded the RAM, it still shows quite a bit of lag. So there, the system is gone completely, and I've already set up the system to boot from the pen drive first or USB drive first. So like you can see, just like you have a bootloader, like for example if you've installed Linux before, you will see grub. In this case it's unetbootin, and it gives you different options. So it'll say default, start Linux Mint, start it in compatibility mode, start it with PAE forced, integrated check, a memory test if you want to do. Boot from local hard drive will skip this process and boot the operating system from the hard drive, which would be Windows 7 on this system. Okay. Start Linux Mint 17.3 Mate 32-bit, compatibility mode, and check the integrity of the medium. So usually check the integrity would be to check the pen drive and things like that, but since we've just made an install, I'll just go to the option that says start Linux Mint and press enter. Okay, so now it's just moving and it's going to the mint icon. Contrast is a little too high right now, so you can't. There you go. Here you can see the logo. It's showing Linux Mint. And I can see the mouse pointer now, and there comes the menus and the status bars, etc. Probably it's a different angle. Yeah, that's better, I guess. And we've booted to the desktop. So there we go. It shows me even the battery status. It's fully charged. It has successfully connected to my wired network. One thing I noticed about Linux Mint is that even though it's derived from Ubuntu, it appears more Windows like. So it has got a menu like a start menu, and if you've used Windows 7 or if you've used Windows XP, you'll be almost at home here. I'm saying almost because there are few changes as well. So as you can see, it comes with a lot of pre-installed apps. One of my favorite browsers is Firefox. If you've seen me boot into Windows, also I use Firefox because of the add-on support. Pigeon Messenger would be used for IM and things like that. So very important. Let's go ahead and check whether it detected my NTFS drives. So as you can see here, it shows that it has detected the NTFS drives, and since we had allocated around 2 gigs of storage, it's going to use that specifically for Windows personal. I'm sorry, for your personal information and your data, so that will not be lost when this version of Linux is rebooted. So it's a very good alternate way of trying out Linux before you can go ahead and install it. So if you open it up, it's actually showing me my hard drives as well, and it's completely accessible. It also shows me the pen drive, so it cannot be mounted since it's running from that drive. So probably you could increase this size a little bit and use it for more storage. So it's a very nice option. What I've also noticed is that it detects all my hardware without a problem, and it runs pretty smooth as well. So that's about it. That's how you install Linux on or boot Linux from a pen drive. It's kind of like a dual boot, but it happens uh, you know with in a very safe way. So if I shut down the system right now and unplug this pen drive, I will have my system exactly like it was, just a Windows system. So pretty good to test out and check. One point of mention that I have here is that it does set the time to UTC, or it sets it to GMT, as you may call it. So Linux has a different way of setting up time, so your system time may change to GMT, but that's not much of an issue. It's not so much impacting as occupying one of your partitions or changing the partition table of your computer. So again, this is a very amateur video. Please do not go ahead and judge it for the clarity and things like that. It's just the information that I would like to pass on. If you still have any queries, or if you have any issues, you are free to leave it in the comments section. Again, thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.